So, DeJuan, what is it like being a student athlete at Michigan State University?
What is it like? Great question, Connor. Being a student athlete at Michigan State, it's been a great experience so far. As far as being an athlete, honestly, I've met some of my best friends in college so far. With my teammates, getting to train every day in a nice facility, play against the best teams in the country in our conference. It's a once-in-a-lifetime experience. As far as being a student, I feel like many outsiders or people who aren't athletes have the perception that all student athletes just get easy treatment when it comes to their classes, but I just find that to not be true. I think it's even more difficult because we have to manage our time even more wisely with practice, video, treatments, and all the other stuff. But overall, I think it's been a great experience so far, and looking forward to 2.5 more years of doing it.
So, do you feel that being a student at Michigan State is setting you up for success after college?
Absolutely. I'm majoring in elementary education, and I've had some great professors and I have some good mentors that are leading me in the right direction. And I'm making a lot of connections right now that I think will benefit me in the future. And yeah, Michigan State's doing a great job with it.
All right. Do you see yourself as a role model at Michigan State University?
That is a great question, Tyler. Honestly, I just try my best to live the right way and follow the golden rule, which is to treat others how you would like to be treated. So, I mean, I would say yeah. Just try to model respectable and responsible behavior at all times, showing my integrity, and just being a person that people can connect to and relate to.
Okay. Do you think that because you grew up here in Lansing or East Lansing that you have a greater influence on people, like such as the youth of the city?
Yes, I've done a lot of soccer camps, and I did my student teaching at Glencairn, so I actually know a lot of the youth in East Lansing, and playing soccer for East Lansing High School, I was able to be a role model in the field for the younger generation of kids growing up in East Lansing. So I think that's definitely helped me be a better role model just growing up in the area and just people knowing who I am. So yeah, just striving to be the best I can be and be a good role model for the next generation to come.
Gotcha. So, do you feel like, or sorry, what kind of platforms are you on for social media? Like you use Facebook, Twitter, and which one would you say that you use the most?
That's another great question, Connor. Well, social media for me started back in, I want to say, 2008 maybe, with a MySpace account, and yeah, that was like Facebook before Facebook, and I thought I was really cool. I was in 6th grade until one day, this girl commented under my picture, "You are so cute," and I was so young at that time, I didn't know what to say. So I think I just ended up deleting my account because I didn't know what to say. So yeah, well, I deleted my MySpace account, and then I ended up now I have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat, I think. Yeah, I think those are the only 4 social medias that I have.
Okay. Which one do you think you use the most out of those?
Use the most. That's a great question. I think I'm going to have to say Instagram. I think Twitter's good because I get to get a lot of information, keep up with the news and what's going on around the world, but I'm not really an active tweeter. Like, I'll retweet things every once in a while and just figure out what's going on with my friends and other news around the world, but I don't really tweet that much. However, on Instagram, you like post a picture, and I'm sure you know what Instagram is, but I have 2 different accounts on Instagram actually, my main account and my just mess around account. So I have some good times on Instagram, just booling, you know.
Sure. All right. So do you feel like you're under more of a microscope on social media because you are an athlete?
Another great question, Connor. I think I'm definitely under more of a microscope. This isn't a personal example, but for instance, yesterday, uh, the starting linebacker for Michigan State football tweeted, "He's almost there. You got this, Trump," or something similar to that. And he got a lot of hate and people tweeting at him saying, "This is why the football team's 2-7," and just a lot of insults coming his way just because of his choice of political candidate. So, I mean, I think as an athlete, I really have to filter and just watch what I say because um, under the platform that I have, there's going to be a lot more people watching than just the regular college student. So I have to really be careful with what I like to say or with what I say.
Okay, yeah, so that kind of leads into my next question.
Oh, okay.
Um, so, like you said, the linebacker on Michigan State football got a lot of scrutiny for what he posted. Do you feel like athletes in a sport such as football or basketball receive more scrutiny and are under more of a microscope than a sport such as soccer, track and field, or a non-revenue making sport?
Yes, I do feel that way. The sports such as football and basketball have national TV coverage pretty much every weekend or every game day. But for soccer, it's not as much publicity, so we're not under as much of a spotlight, but you just really never know who's watching.
Okay, do you think that universities need to monitor their student athletes on Twitter?
I mean, I think everyone has a right to uh, freedom of speech and just to say what they feel, but at the same time, if you're a student athlete under your university, they kind of they should have a little bit of control of what you should tweet and Instagram because you're a representative of them. So I think yes, there should be some kind of rules as to what's acceptable and what's not acceptable, but I think those rules have to be very clear so there's no silver linings in between there.
Sure. Um, so recently, the Louisville basketball program, for example, their head coach has banned social media during the season, which some people argue takes away their freedom of speech. Do you find that unconstitutional if a coach were to completely take away your use of social media during the season?
Yes, I do. I think some people, I mean, everyone has their own little thing like to do. So, for instance, players like to, maybe it's one of their rituals to tweet like "Happy Game Day" or they like to share what's going on with how their sport's going for them. And I think that's not really fair. It just takes away a big part of some people's lives. And like I said earlier, I think if they can find a way to make sure what they're saying is appropriate, then they can find another solution. But I don't think taking it away completely is a good idea.
Okay. And last two questions here. So as obviously right now, things such as race, class, and sexual orientation are big problems in America. Do you ever find that people of a different race, class, or sexual orientation are being treated differently on social media?
Nothing that I see on a daily basis, but when something controversial happens in the world, everyone likes to voice their opinions, and sometimes when I'm scrolling through Twitter, I'll click on a popular tweet with a lot of retweets and favorites and just see how everyone's reacting to it. And sometimes between the different races, you see a lot of different views and negativity towards certain races. Also, for the LGBTQ community, there's a lot of like slurs and there's just a lot that's going on right now. So I think definitely I see it, but not on a regular basis, and only if I go searching for it. That's when I usually see it.
Gotcha. And being an African American man, have you ever faced any kind of oppression or being treated differently due to your race on social media?
That's another great question, Connor.
Thank you.
Uh, on social media, I I'm sure I have, but I haven't faced anything directly that I can think of right now.
Mhm.
Um, but I mean, there's a lot of stuff that happens behind closed doors. But in terms of to my face or uh, in a comment, I I don't think I faced anything directly.
All right. Well, thank you for your time, Mr. Jones. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Bulligan Corrigan.